Hey, hello people on YouTube there. There is some issues on the Tocumen Airport which make your journey so tricky or unreasonable expensive. On this episode, I will gonna give you the tips and everything you need to get out of the Tocumen Airport on the most cheaper and reasonable way. There is 4 ways to get out of the Tocumen Airport. I'm going to put it in order of cheaper or more expensive. The first one is using a Diablo Rojo, which is. Second one is using the free shuttle ride to the nearest shopping center, which called Metro Mall. Third, and this is a little bit tricky, you have to request a Uber, but he has to pick up you outside of the airport on the bus station. They are not allowed to get into the airport. And the last one, and the one that I don't recommend you, is take the regular white taxis of the airport. So expensive. Okay, since there is no place on the airport to buy a metro card to join into the public bus system services, this limits you only to use all bus services of Panama, which we call Diablos Rojos. They only accept coins, and the cheapest way to go to the city or the bus terminal, but definitely is not the safest because you're exposed so much. If you decide to go, you only have to walk around 500 meters to the right of the airport and you are going to find the bus station, and just make sure that you take the one, Diablo Rojo, going to the city or the bus terminal. You are going to expend less than $2 or $3, normally $1 to get into the bus terminal. Let's talk about the second one. There is a free shuttle to the shopping center on the arrival levels. You can pick up that. This is a little bit tricky, but this is the cheaper and safest way to get into the system of Panama. Once you get there, you can go to the supermarket and buy a metro card. After you get the card on the supermarket, you are free to go wherever you want on the Panama City using the metro, or using the buses, or whatever you want to do. And this will gonna cost you around $2 to $5. For me, as a Panamanian, I will recommend you this way to get into the city. This third option is very tricky and it's just for very advanced Uber users. And this is because the taxi union from the airport are not allowing the Ubers get into the airport. So the only way that you can take the Uber ride is going to be that you call or by text once you get the ride on the application. So that's pretty tricky because you may not have a phone number or even data, but you can get Wi-Fi on the airport. Just make sure to text him or speak with the Uber driver to pick up outside on the bus station that you have to walk around 500 meters. So speaking about prices, that's gonna cost you around 20 to 25 the ride to the city. But you can join maybe 2 or 3 persons and you can share the whole fare. And it's pretty reasonable and cheaper. I personally use this way only if I need to save some time on the journey. So now it came the fourth way to get into the city. There is the only official permit transport on the Tocumen Airport, which we call the white taxis. They are the mob of the airport. Really, the mob. They control everything on the airport.
And this is the main reason that I'm doing this video, to help any traveler to get into the city or on the bus terminal, to go outside of the city or whatever, the most reasonable way without get charged 25 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or whatever they want to charge you. And this is so important, they charge you per head or per person. If you are with a family of 4, they're gonna charge you $50 per person. For me, this is so abusing what this union of taxis are doing with our tourists.
And the last bonus option, of course, to get out of the airport is if you rent a car. But there is some tricky thing. If you are not satisfied with the first and second one, even if you rent a car per $25, you can drop it at the city with a little bit charge, and even it's going to be more reasonable and cheaper way rather than take that white taxi. My final thoughts about this travel guide help is avoid every time you can and everything the white taxis persons. They share green t-shirt, I believe so. So avoid that in the whole way. They are hungry for your money. Even if it's a 5 minutes ride to the next hotel of the airport, they're gonna charge you 50, 60, 70. Tocumen Airport is now under construction of a new terminal, and they are making, let's say, a pretty good job. But we hope that someday they get rid of this transport mob that they have on the airport and allow the tourists to get more easiest, reasonable, and pretty friendly way into the city. And this is all I have to say about that. So later!